All right, introduce your show.
Oh, we're here on Ryley Music's Racing Insider News with Jack Dodson and Scott Allen. It is Tuesday night of.
You don't even know what day it is. August 24th.
Of the 24th, and
It's Takeover Tuesday.
Taco Bell Tuesday.
You didn't bring no Taco Bell.
No, I haven't eaten it either.
Okay.
So
All right, well, let's thank our marketing partners. We got to thank our sponsors. Langley Speedway, Performance Plus Motor Oil, Safety Clean, MPM Marketing. So if you want to get a suit, if you want to get a suit like mine, get a custom suit and some shoes.
I think you ought to get a suit like you. Y'all look like
Yeah.
twins.
Factory Canopies. Can't think these are the nice chairs that they give us.
these are pretty nice chairs.
Yeah.
Mom, write that down.
They do car covers and those canopies with custom. Those are pretty nice.
Like one like Brendan has.
Mm-hmm. Pepsi.
The best type of drink.
Jack's. That's how he regulates his sugar. Bondard Brothers Distillery. GAC, Great American Company. We got VA 811 and NC 811. And then we have Blackwater Station. Get you some barbecue and a nice cold drink.
All right. So let's go ahead and get to the Smith Wraps and Graphics Weekend Racing Roundup for the weekend. In the Cup Series this past weekend, Ryan Blaney got the win. Xfinity, AJ Allmendinger, and he is on the tear. I mean,
Man, isn't he?
And in the trucks, Sheldon Creed got the win. In the ARCA race in Michigan, Ty Gibbs got the win. And in the ARCA race at Illinois State Fairgrounds, Corey Heim got the win. So they shared each other's. I understand there's some bad blood there, but I ain't gonna say nothing else about that. In the ARCA West Series at Irwindale, Jesse Love got the win in Bill McAnally's car. At Hickory this past weekend, this was championship weekend at Hickory. Late model race number 1, Whitney Meggs, a Lee Falk driver, got the win. And in late model 2, Taylor Satterfield got the win. And the champion for this year is John Cossack, the Dale Jr. driver.
Okay.
So he won the championship at Hickory. At Bowman Gray this past weekend, Tim Brown won
Who's
the
that guy?
championship. That's his 11th championship.
Never heard of him.
Okay. And in the modified race itself, John Boy Brown won. So that's a pretty cool deal. Tri-County, Thomas Bean got the win. Down at Sobo, this guy Peyton Sellers got both wins in both late model races down there. 5 Flags in the pro late models, Jake Garcia got the win. Up at Chemung, New York in the Sportsman Series at Chemung Speedrome, Garrett Zacharias got another win. At Kingsport, late model race number 1, Nick Williams. Late model race number 2, Bradley Housewright. Down at Wake County, I don't know who all raced all down there, but there was one division that that they sent me an update on. That was the Bando division. Ryley Music got the win. Anything you want to say?
We struggled really all day.
Did you?
Yeah. We can't get the main car to work anymore down there, so we had to roll out the backup car. We tried some different stuff on it, and it was really good. So we raced it, and thing was bad fast off 3 and 4. We just got to get 1 and 2 better.
You just don't get pinched down or nothing like that. You may end up sliding up to the wall or something, or somebody might slide up to the wall or something like that if you get pinched down, right? I'm just asking. I want to know these things. You got anything you want to say about that?
Yeah.
Okay. Up at Dominion Raceway, in the Virginia Racing Series, Ryan Matthews got the win in the first race. I do not know who got the second race.
Chris Donnelly.
Chris Donnelly got the second. I figured you would know. In the modifieds, Kayla Searles got her first win. And in the bandos, Ryley Music got the win. You just like coming in here when you got 2 wins and stuff, don't you?
Well,
Did anybody get to the outside?
He doesn't lack confidence, as we know.
Did anybody get to your outside there and kind of you had to pinch them up into the wall a little bit, or did it?
no, but we had to start shotgun on the field, or no, outside pole. But we had a good car. We finally got our program set up good there. We tried some stuff, and that was my last race there in Bandos.
We're gonna get to that in a minute. We're gonna talk about your future.
Yep.
So I mean, you lack a lot of confidence, so we want to go ahead and talk to you about it. Get your confidence up.
Okay.
You know how the mini stocks went up there
Huh?
at Dominion?
No.
Your driver of the week came in second.
Who was the driver of the week last week?
Oh,
Joseph Pittman, the Oklahoma legend.
Oh yeah.
Him and Buckshot went up there. Buckshot won, and Joseph came in second.
All right, at Langley Speedway this past weekend in modified race number 1, Matt Carter got the win. Modified race number 2, Rick Godovic got the win. Grand Stocks, Chris Roberts. Super Trucks, Louis Pastoritz. And in the U-Car, Landon Florian got the win, even though he had Scott Allen helping him. And,
I didn't do anything.
so anyway, that was a heck of a race.
It was.
The finish on that race was something else.
He just want to prove you can still do it with a single cam.
A domestic.
Single cam.
That
I mean, he ain't got no power.
Both.
I can tell you with 100% certainty. You sit out there at turn 2 and listen to the cars, and it's like, dude, he's in trouble. And it's like, damn, that bitch just got a top on board.
but they come off a 2, and that single overhead cam, 100 horsepower domestic, kept up with that 170 horsepower, 170 torque import.
That's too much knowledge for me.
Well, we were talking about it and high-fiving after the race. Bill and Landon, they shook hands and everything, but
now, I don't know what kind of friend is Andrew Fuller. What y'all talking about earlier?
Butt buddies, I think is what he said.
Anyway, he said you're the man. He said you're the man.
Andrew Fuller's a good dude. Like, he's one of my best friends. He gave me my awesome corn hat too.
We'll talk about that later.
Dude.
awesome corn hat.
Yeah,
Like
okay.
from Iowa?
No, like it's a corn hat with the American flag bottom. I would show you a picture, but my phone.
Oh, don't worry.
I'll get you a picture.
We'll have plenty of time. We'll have plenty of time to show a picture. Okay. All right, driver of the week this past weekend.
Drum roll.
Who is it?
Kayla Searles.
Oh.
Hey!
She got the win. Landon Florian was right behind her, though, not far behind anyway. So Kayla Searles.
What is your math here? You're saying not far behind.
Well, I mean,
That's
considering Landon Florian had a mafia behind him.
He did not.
We did not. We voted on our own.
Anyway, so that's the Smith's Wraps and Graphics Weekend Racing Roundup. Need car wrapped or anything like that, decals, whatever. See Billy Smith at Smith's Wraps Graphics, and he will help you out. All right, we got our buddy here, and Ryley Music, and I think we have a little dedication.
What possessed you?
I felt swag in my Dunkin' Donuts driver suit that Mark Wirtz gave me. My supposed to be black racing shoes that came in red, and then my corn hat, my American flag corn hat with my American flag sunglasses, my Oakleys. Very cool sunglasses. I felt like I was swag in that thing, so I felt like a little air guitar would have been right.
Uncle Anthony is putting on. He's got $10 to knock the radiator out of the thing this weekend.
Oh, that's the radiator?
Whoa, man! People got all kinds of
Hey,
confidence.
Anthony, I'll up it to 50. I won't knock the radiator out.
Do you got $50?
I don't know. My wallet at home.
Oh, okay.
Actually, yeah, I do.
Okay, I
It's in
know.
my bank account
Not all-
somewhere.
Well, it's in your bank account?
somewhere.
Okay.
Those driver winning checks.
Hey, I made $100 off of off a hard charger, I think,
Mm-hmm.
a couple weeks ago at Dominion.
Nice.
I don't remember what. I want a set of sockets for something, and then I want $100.
Now, you want a set of sockets. Do you know how to use them?
Yes,
You do?
yes.
Do
I
you
might not look very smart, but I am pretty smart in the mechanics world.
Are you? Now, I've seen where your dad has gone out there and busted his butt trying to get ready, that the trailer and everything getting ready to go down to Carteret this weekend.
No, we're not using.
Oh,
that
Goodyear, wherever that place is.
We're not using that
Jacksonville.
trailer. We're still working on that trailer. He needs to get back out there and do the floor.
Oh,
He's over there saying, we?
what? You need to help it.
No, I've been working in the AC on the late model. I'd rather be in the AC.
Well, I tell you what, you just keep digging that grave that you're digging.
It's nice working in the AC with all them sockets on the late model.
That's right. Had to put them sockets
No,
to use.
I'm stealing my granddad's tools for that.
Oh, yeah. Now, how does Phil put up with you on a daily basis?
I don't know. I'm his best friend.
You're his best friend.
No, never mind. He kicked me to the curb for that dog.
Well, I'm getting all kinds of education here that I wasn't even knowing about.
See, Leroy Kimball said the hat is awesome. Do not joke on the hat. I was gonna wear it today, and then my mom and dad
But
looked
you
at
know what? I don't see Phoenix say anything about how pretty it is.
I thought he was your friend.
I didn't see it. I mean, I haven't seen that yet. Why are you red? It's all right.
Yeah, you can't talk bad about the corn hat. Like I had it on.
We won't talk about the corn.
Deflection.
Back to the corn hat.
All right.
I had my corn hat on, my sunglasses on top, and my parents looked at me and go, "You are not wearing that stupid corn hat on the show."
Well, I appreciate they stood up and did that.
Which the past 2 days I wore my corn hat, which is now a sombrero, to Mexican.
Well, in Southampton County, they're picking watermelons right now. Everybody's out in the field picking watermelon. I've seen a whole bunch of them hats out there in the watermelon field. I can go, and I'm just going to leave it right.
I like watermelon.
So don't you?
I like watermelon.
Do you?
Yeah.
I can get you a job.
No, I'm good.
Okay, you good?
I don't like working out in the
With
heat.
Ross Chastain.
Yeah.
I don't like working in the heat.
Jesse, that's what I asked him.
Like
I'm like,
today-
the group corn? He's like, no, corn hat. And I'm like, okay.
All right. This is a racing show. We need to get off the corn hat.
Miley Smith, the corn hat is swag. Don't disrespect the corn hat. Probably.
All these girls just like you. If you ran around here with a stocking cap over your face, everybody else would be riding around here with one too.
Probably.
That's the type of person you are.
Yeah.
You just
It's tough being
Hold up. I
popular.
gotta be like Big Mike Canary here. Yeah.
don't try to be like
That's the Lizard
Hey,
King.
you don't teach my prince any bad things, right?
Yeah, see, Lizard King taught me everything right.
you. Okay.
The Lizard King? Who is it, Jim Morrison?
Yeah, there's 3 Lizard Princes and he's Lizard King.
Right.
Just don't look for any lot lizards.
All right.
I've tried not to.
Or
I
pit
have
lizards.
completely lost control of everything.
All right, Jimmy, let's go do the show.
That was our total goal. I've lost control of everything. We done got a long ways away from racing. I ain't heard a racing thing about racing.
It's up
Now-
there.
Now we're getting ready to go late model racing.
Yes, sir.
Or limited. Was it limited or late model?
Whatever you want. Charger.
Charger?
Yes.
That's what you're going to run this weekend?
Yes.
Whose car is this?
Doug Warren's, my uncle's.
You're running at Goodyear?
Yeah.
Okay.
I've tested there. I was pretty fast.
Nice.
Place is just a little bit weird going into one.
It looks like a big East Carolina from what I can tell.
It kind of is.
I was looking at where the
Which,
tire
don't
tracks
ask
are.
me anything about East Carolina. I've wrecked a race car twice in one day there.
Well, that won't good.
No.
And you're the best there was, best there is, best there will be.
East Carolina is different. That place, is weird.
Well, I mean, you fit in down there.
What do you mean?
You said it's weird. You're a little weird sometimes too.
I can be.
So are you excited about going down and running this late model this weekend or this Charger?
Yes, I'm very excited.
Okay.
I'm kind of happy to get away from something with the bandos because it's something different, and I want to do something different.
So you're not racing any more bandos at all the rest of the year?
No, I'm finishing out the season at Wake County, and I'm going to Florence on September 11th.
Florence is a different place.
I've heard it's a little bit weird. I just can't make a mistake and end up down there in the pucker brush.
You can't go down any further because there's a wall. And if you're running off the racetrack on the backstretch, you're going up in the woods.
There's no wall back there at all.
So take that 50 now.
If I was gonna get that 50, he's saying you're going.
It's in my wallet at home, Anthony. I hope
Let's
you're
go
ready to
about it.
lose $50.
Let's go on by there and get it.
So now, who all's gonna be going with you down there to help you out this week? I know you gotta have some people going with you.
I'm having Sean Malbeck, my tire guy. Well, not really a tire guy in bandos, but he's a great helper of ours, and he decided to come back and help me this year. And I'm trying to get Anthony to go down there and spot for me because I want somebody that I've had spot for me and I trust. Like I trust
Dad, you got a bet with him, and then you want him to spot for you too.
Well, I want him to spot with me because Kyle Larson's road course spotter. He should be the best in the business. I could have called Joe White, but he's going to be off doing Chase Briscoe stuff.
I think you ought to get Scott to go down there with you.
I'll pass up on that.
He'll be calling me tomorrow. Hey.
But it's going to be me, my mom, my dad, and Doug, and Sean Malbeck, and I'm trying to get Anthony.
You can't talk him into doing it?
I don't know if Anthony will do work, though. He just sits around with the radio.
Well, that's what he gets paid to do. Though.
You don't need him to do any work.
No, I kind of do.
Oh, you do? I mean, and now Phil's gonna miss this. He's gonna be here racing. He's gonna miss it down there.
Yeah.
So I know that's gonna be tough. You're gonna be able to.
Yeah, the wheelchair warriors are going to get it done again this weekend.
The what?
That's
The
what.
wheelchair warriors.
What the hell's the wheelchair warriors?
Almost all his crew is above 60 years old. Or they got multiple names.
What's their names?
The Walker Warriors, the Wheelchair Warriors, the Retirement Home Crew, all done by my mom over there.
Well, they seem to be putting on a good job, so I don't know if I'd be making those things up.
No, they're not. They're.
My tire guy's calling me right now. I don't know if I should answer.
No, you shouldn't. You shouldn't answer right now.
We're just going to silence the phone. Yeah, we're just going to silence.
Just
the
text
phone.
us back and let us know if you're coming or not.
Yeah.
Let him conduct an interview during the interview.
Now I'll tell you.
This is the Ryley Music Racing Insider News with Scott Allen.
Yeah.
When Ryley goes, hold on a sec, I gotta take this. You know you made it.
Right.
But one thing I will tell you, when we went down to Coast, when it was Coastal, we went down there, stayed in the middle of the ghetto in this hotel. Like, this was straight ghetto. And we're like, where are we going to eat? We went to the Chili's, had an hour and a half wait. Well, there was this Mexican place out in front of our hotel. Like, the hotel was here, something ran over it, then the Mexican place was right here. It was right in front of the hotel. Well, we rode around, and Doug goes, why don't we go to the Mexican place in front of the hotel? We went there. Rat traps are surrounding it. They had to get their food somehow, apparently. So we went and ate.
Must have been a New Bern.
No, it was in Jacksonville. But we went and ate there, and it wasn't bad. Like, it looked nice inside, but outside it looked run down and everything.
Mr. Goodyear, David Goodyear, down there at the racetrack. This is what I was talking about.
Get that boy banned.
This is your kid on what the hell did you drink before you got here? Not Monster.
Oh, I
Popped
drunk
up
a
a Mountain
no. I drunk a Monster Energy Mean Bean coffee. Them things are good. I'm telling you. pretty good drinks.
If you say so.
Now, your mom and dad have to ride back home with you in this state of mind. I kind of feel
I
that.
don't know how his head gets in the truck. They got a bigger truck.
He rides in the back.
I do.
No, we're talking about all the way in the back.
Didn't that happen to Bean too? He had to get a bigger helmet.
They're going to stick you in the back of the truck. Just don't be sticking your head out like a dog.
Okay.
That's-
I can't promise anything.
All right, now can we get back to racing now? So your plan is to run this all next year. Are they going to bring the Virginia racers to Langley next year, or what's the plan?
I'm hoping they'll bring them back, and we've been trying to talk to Bill Moss about it, but I don't know. I don't really want the Virginia racer package here. I kind of want something with something like the Chargers. You have the certain shock combo, you get the big carburetor package with late model scuffs because it'll help the cost. And if late model keeps doing what they're doing, that could become a cheap class too, because you buy 4 at the start of the year and then you just do 2 new 2 scuff. It's gonna be cheaper than what it is. Like they're doing, it would be cheaper than what it is.
You know, I'd like to see you in a Pro 6 out there against Scott Allen.
Okay, I'll take that. I'll take it.
See if you can find it.
If somebody can give me a car, I would love to go out there and beat Scott Allen.
You can trade a Bando for a Pro 6.
Probably.
No, I'd rather trade them bandos for straight cash.
You want cash for them bandos, huh?
Yeah.
Have you sold any of them yet?
Well, so we're trying to keep the 3 cars I have. The 1 car is sold to somebody, but we're running it as our main. They haven't gave the money yet, but they said they want it. 1 car, we haven't posted for sale. We're saving it for Florence for right now. And then the car we raced last Friday at Wake, somebody's coming to test it Friday to see if they want to race it, and then we'll sell it to them at the end of the season.
So it's all in the works.
Yes,
So you just,
But there's no money in the bank.
not yet.
so all the cars will be gone at the end of the year, and
I'm hoping.
you'll be ready to go racing next year.
Yeah.
So I mean, you know, it looks like you may be racing somewhere else other than Langley if they don't get to.
I don't know. I've heard there maybe that, I don't know if it's going to be Virginia racers, but I heard there's some interest of it
I've heard
come
this.
here. Because I think there's a few people that are interested in the limited.
Yes, there is. Like, I've been talking to Cody Bryant. He wants to run it. Jacob, their parents said in a couple years they'd move up to it. The Nesters would do it. There's a good amount of people who would want to do it, but I know there's a couple people or one person who ran it last year. He said if they bring back the shock combo, he said he doesn't want to run because he said the shocks were.
You know, that narrows it down to one person.
Yeah. You're trying to remember that.
Well, I'm not going to.
I mean, I know you're not talking about Doug.
He just, you know, they probably picked that up.
Oh, I talked trash with him, and he doesn't like it. Like, I've been over at the shop a couple days, and I just talk straight trash with him.
But you're not.
Look, you work for him, and then you're gonna talk trash
Well,
about him.
no, he sold the shop.
Oh, did he sell the shop?
Yes,
to
Caliber Collision.
Oh, they
Big
bought
people.
every body shop they can get their hands on.
Yes, they
Yeah.
do.
Well, I think they bought
Skip's place. They bought.
Yeah.
Your place isn't an auto body place, is it? Okay, then they're not coming for you.
It don't matter. There's enough money. That's gonna be it. Everything I got's for sale. If the price is right, it's gone.
Spoke like a true businessman.
The
That's
only
right.
reason I talk trash is we came over here to Langley. He said, "You won't be in the same second bracket as me." I ran a 17.045. He ran a 17.088. I went faster. And then we went to Coastal, and he's like, he gets in the car, runs a 18.5, I think. And he's like, I can't figure out this place. Turn one's odd. And he calls my grandfather and goes, we're going to struggle. I get in the car, and I ran a 17.5, which was good race times. And then we bolted on another set of tires, and I ran a 17.0, which was 2/10 off qualifying times. And he called my grandfather back and goes, maybe we're not going to struggle. The driver figured it out pretty quick. I'm like, so now we
it must be great in that Warren family. I mean, you got Phil as a legend, and you're talking trash about Doug. Anthony is a top rate spotter.
now.
And now, I mean, I see you in the NASCAR Hall of Fame 2 or 3 years from now.
Yeah, well, Joe got his start. Joe White, he got his start spotting from my grandfather. He lived in my grandparents' attic. Joe White, Chase Briscoe spotter.
You keep
lived
talking
in my
about trash. You may be
grandparents'
living in somebody's attic.
attic. Probably.
Is Joe White the Anne Frank of Langley Speedway?
Who's Anne Frank?
You had to go and ask that question, didn't you? I'm gonna put it this way: you need to go home and look it up. Google that when you get home.
You'll figure it out in social studies in a few years.
Problem is, I don't pay attention very well, so.
That's hard to believe.
No, we don't want you and Scott out there at the same time because both y'all have a hard time paying attention. Scott, he forgets which pedal's which.
I remember that. Hey, which pedal are you supposed to push when you're shifting gears?
The one in the middle?
Yeah, apparently you figured that out pretty good. You're supposed to hit the one all the way on the left.
I put a picture up of the pedals, and they were wrong. The picture was wrong. Nobody picked it up. Nobody picked up the picture was wrong.
That's because nobody pays you any
And
attention, Jack. They just keep scrolling.
No, I got a whole bunch of replies to it concerning you. But
That's
yeah.
why I run Grand Stocks. There's only 2.
Right? Nothing to worry about, right?
Yeah, there is only 2 in them things.
So I think we ought to see if we can find you a Pro 6 to ride for
Okay.
a race so you can race against Scott.
Well, let's call Scott's buddy up, Jarrett Clark.
Okay, you know him better than I do.
I don't know.
You don't know?
I've never spoke a word to Jarrett.
Oh yeah,
Never spoke a word to him.
I noticed.
Just not to him.
I seen the
I've
whole.
never spoke a word about him.
You,
I don't even know the dude.
So you and Jacob, Derek, and Colby or Cody or whatever his name is.
Yeah. Whatever his name is, he isn't important.
Y'all hang around together. I saw y'all the other day. Y'all hanging around together.
Yeah, that's the 3 amigos. We all got to get sombreros like the one I have.
I don't think you have to really, because. But I was sitting up here on the thing. I watched y'all go down through there talking, and then the next thing you know, I found out about you and Andrew Fuller. So I won't say anything else. You got anything else you want to say about racing down at Wake County? I mean, you're going to win the championship down there.
Yeah, I've got it locked up by 40 points, I think.
Okay. Now, if you get pinched down, it's not a free run to put somebody in the wall. I'm just telling you, don't do that.
I know.
Don't drive like Jesse Jones.
That's not Wake County. Remember, you got to sell that car at the end of the year.
Yeah. That car was perfectly clean until a twin night.
Ryley said, Andrew said you're his little brother.
Yeah.
Thank you, sponsors.
You already kicking me off?
Thank you, sponsors. You and Andrew Fuller. I just thought we've had enough.
Y'all already kicking me off the show.
No, I mean, you can hang right here with us and keep right on talking. But we need to get Jesse over here too, because he's important too.
Man, I like that mustache.
I know when you got your own Facebook page for your most.
I can't even grow one yet. Too young. I'm not even allowed to have Facebook either.
You're not allowed to have Facebook?
I'm not allowed to have nothing.
Really?
Not allowed to have no social medias.
Well, how come when you was down in Charlotte, you in Phoenix, and we were talking about what was on your phone, and you said, "Uh-oh," and you threw it in the back seat.
I don't remember.
That was a picture of you two together.
Oh, yeah.
Mama's calling you out.
Mom sent it to me, I think, and I'm like, what the heck is this? And you're like,
Is that why was it your screensaver then?
no, my screensaver is this.
That's because you done changed it now.
No, my screensaver is that.
Okay, it was the background.
My background's the same thing. I'll show you that. See? I keep my stuff simple.
You know what? I can't wait to see you race. I wish I could go down to Carteret this weekend and watch you race.
Good year.
Good year.
Good year. God, whatever that place is.
Oh, we're at Hibio, correct?
You got that right. As long as I say anything wrong, Mason Dunn and Hibbie will make sure I know. They will say everything. I mean, they will send me notes. They will do. I mean, I didn't know I was being stalked until Mason Dunn stopped me about something was on my Facebook page. And you don't have a Facebook.
No, Mom.
How
Why
you
am I
how
not
you
on
gotta be?
Facebook? Can I have it?
There's plenty
Let's
of
make him a
books.
Facebook right now.
We'll make one and we'll just run it for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So do you get on the internet much?
Yes.
Well, it's stuff internet.
Huh?
Like,
And I'm just asking, do you? I've already heard you've hit a couple of those pages.
oh yeah. Yeah, I have.
I've already heard about that, so I know you do. Why are you turning red? That thing's eating you up, isn't it?
Oh,
All right, but you want to go over and take his place so he can get him over here and talk to him?
yeah, I'll just.
We're going to talk racing with him.
That's true.
Are there Pepsis in that fridge? I want one just like yours.
Yes, you can.
Okay.
Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
there's no Monster Energies or anything.
Whatever. But I'm going to go sit right there and talk too.
We did have a doubt in our mind you were going to talk. All right.
What's up, internet?
The man with the best mustache in town. You got a mullet too?
Nah. I don't got that bean flow or
Oh, dude, he needs to cut.
he cut his.
Spencer's got it.
Yeah.
Brendan needs to cut his. His is bad.
You know what's sad? You know what's really sad? My grandson came to the show when Spencer was here, and he said, I want one of them mullets. He's getting a mullet.
Is it?
Yeah.
My parents told me I gotta wait till I'm about to have one.
Huh?
I wish somebody would tell him that, but he's still getting it.
I told my mom I wanted one like butter beans
thought-
messing around. They go, no, that thing is terrible.
I saw Hayden's. I was like, is that little Tommy Gilday?
It does look like old school Tom.
All right, now we got Jesse in here. We're going to talk to him about his grand stock driving.
Yeah, what happened the last 20 laps, man? You was on point there for the first
Oh,
20.
yeah.
I come over to him, I was like, hey, man, I need my stuff cheated up. It's like Jesse's stuff.
I told Rick, I was like, I said the car was just money for the first like 5 or 6 laps, and then and Chris even came up to me after the race. He was like, hey, you were running really good. He said my spotter said one back, and all of a sudden he goes, he's there, and I didn't know I was all the way there until I saw Sarah Langley's photo, and I'm like, yeah, I'm right there on him coming at it too.
Oh, yeah?
I even it was like lap 4 or something, and I thought I could get a bite underneath Chris, and I'm just like, it's too early for that. So I was like, let me just wait and see. And car just went away. Basically, I need to learn how to drive the car.
You've had some struggles this year with the car.
I think I have finished every lap of maybe 4 races, maybe 5. Yeah. So, I mean, missed the first race of the season from fuel issues. Then transmission blew up. We swapped it out in the first of a twin race, came back and ran through the field at the second. And then 2 races later, the crank decided it didn't want to be in the motor anymore. So, and then after that, we just kept trying to thrash, getting something together. And it was, we're basically just throwing stuff together because, I dropped the money on the motor at the beginning of the season and that didn't really pan out. So, but no, it's in fact I was talking about everyone.
It's not class.
Yes, Ryley.
Didn't you blow a crank? Or did you blow a piston to the moon?
Yeah, it pretty much went to the moon. The whole bottom end just destroyed.
All good things come to an end.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
but
Except
so-
the 4-cylinder.
No, I've blown those up before too.
Have it?
Shoot, I blew up my mini stock up at Dominion and then turned around and came here and blew the Cavalier up at Langley.
The next week.
Yeah.
Two motors in 2 weeks.
Yeah. Well, technically it was, what was it? 3 that we came up with something else. Is this relevant?
You're not on my level. I blew up a motor in 2 days. 2 motors, 2 days.
Well, okay. But we blew that one up at the mini stock race up at Dominion. Came here, blew that one up, and then I gave it to Bill to try to basically be like, here, you take this car, you go run, have fun in U cars out here. And then until I eventually got into grand stock. So, but we're figuring it out. We're basically, I need to try to figure out how to be consistent every single time. Because I'll go out there and the car will change, so I'll try to adapt to it. And Rick's telling me that I'm not really getting good information to him because it's and at least Big John came over to help us fix the motor about 2 weeks ago, and that's what I overheard him saying. So that's what I think is the game plan, is try to get much more consistent on it.
So how many wins you got in the mini stock this year?
One,
Just
just the one at Dominion.
well, congratulations for that one win.
Ooh,
You
Oh,
driver
you
of
did
the
it right this
race
time.
award. Ooh.
Is there a chicken there?
Well, I only led one lap.
You only live one turn.
And I used the bumper as I used the whole side of the car. I used a bunch of it.
But that
Awesome.
car has not finished outside of the top 10 since we got it.
No, never
The car's
has.
been awesome.
Even
Even down in
Florence. First time I went to Florence.
Talk about running 130 Rockingham. Like,
Oh yeah. So Rockinham's coming up. We got a big thing planned. Bill's gonna come down with the 22 U car.
Okay.
Richard Quinn is going to get into Chris Kurt's 51 car from Dominion. EJ's been hitting me up asking me questions about, all the
Oh, y'all
different
friends
tires.
now?
I don't. When he was here, I was straight up telling him how to get around the track. I do not have a problem with EJ. For the rest
He's
of my
not the one that has
for-
the worst problem with
for-
AJ Kenneth.
for the rest of my life, he's always going to be referred to as my boy, and I understand why. But I really don't have a problem with EJ.
3 out of 5.
I mean, yeah. But no, he said he's going to come down.
I don't think he particularly cares for me very much.
He cares about what you have
Well, he's
to
the only
say.
person that would be disqualified from driver of the week, right?
No,
Not
he
true.
ain't the first
No,
one.
not true.
That's not the first one. But
That's what set the precedent when I was voting for him.
yeah,
But
it set the precedent. You're right. I heard a lot about that week. So,
Yep.
So, how are you enjoying being in the grand stock on a regular basis now? I mean,
it's fun. It's interesting. It's just huge learning curve. And that's what Rick keeps telling me. He's just like, you gotta, just keep sticking with it. Just
Get down on
try
the
to,
apron.
but then Brandon jumps in the car and puts it down 2/10 faster than me. And I'm like, Rick, he's driving a completely different line from what you told me to do. But it's Brandon owns Tim's car, Brandon Henson, or Dallin does, and he used to drive it. So, I mean, he's just like, he has more experience than you. Absolutely. So it's basically, we got 4 more races this year. Twins coming up here on September 17th. I have a new sponsor, my buddy Matt Bass. He is starting out on he worked for Langley for a while. He actually got me my house when I bought it earlier this year, and now he's working for Loan Depot. They have a grand opening right near Todd Stadium coming up on September 16th for all your mortgage needs. Matt does mortgage at Facebook and Instagram.
Take notes, Riley. That's how you do it.
Yes, that's so we're gonna bring the car out there, bring the grand stock. He's gonna have food out there, got a band coming. Gonna be a good old time for about, I think it's 12 to 2 on Friday, September 16th. And then we got Twins the next day. And then what else do I got going on? And then we might go to the Roval. And while I'm down there, Travis Provis told me that they might do the mini stock challenge race at Hickory. So I might just bring the mini stock to Charlotte. And I don't think they're going to let me in the pits with it because they're going to be too scared. I'm going to try to drive it around the track, which I would totally try. But
No, they ain't
What's up,
gonna
Clayton?
then Rockingham a few weeks later.
When is Rockingham? Dwight Nickens says he's got a U car.
November 6th.
November
It's
6th.
not for
November
the faint of
6th.
heart.
Yep.
And
Practice is on Halloween the week before, and then the very next Saturday is Cars Tour, Carolina Mini Stock Challenge, Rockingham, 1.1 miles, that fast.
Talk about tire test.
Tire test?
Yeah.
Where the left rear wheel cambered all the way. I talked about that last time I was on the show.
Okay.
Yeah, that was like, the fifth time I was on the show. We talked about that already.
Who was the guy out here this past weekend that was going into the turns and carrying the tire all the way?
Oh,
Jamie,
yeah.
Jamie Height.
He was driving it like South.
So that's the thing at Southside. All the U cars, they have their suspension set up where you actually turn twice. You go in the turn, pivot, then you get at the bottom and turn it again. And it runs a lot like Wake is how Southside runs. And so he was still set up for that. But yeah, that thing was.
I was watching it. It was.
yeah.
He was in Duro car in that thing.
And he won a race last year too.
Where?
Here.
Oh, really?
Yeah. But then he had to take that late model bumper off, and man, he lost
Went
all
all
the
to
speed.
hell.
Oh yeah. That late model bumper, that does everything on those U cars.
Yeah. Marty, I don't know. We didn't get any pizza today.
Pizza.
Yeah, I know. We're supposed to
That
get
was your job, Riley.
You're supposed to bring us some
You
chicken.
got all that money in your pocket.
some. Yeah, he's about to lose.
You
it.
done won all these races, and you
I ain't got no money. I am poor.
Wait. 10 minutes ago, you had $50 in the bank.
In the house, at the
In the-
house.
Poor kids don't. drive
Excuse me,
like
the piggy bank. Okay.
Now, we're not going to talk about how much money I have invested in my iRacing.
Okay. Let's not.
That's probably over $2,000.
in your iRacing.
Oh, yeah.
Does your mom and dad ever let you? I mean, do you ever do anything other than iRacing?
Probably not, no. No. I wake
I'm gonna
up.
tell you what, you got a good dad. I'm gonna have to say one thing for you. You got a good dad. He's out there busting his ass trying to fix that trailer,
Oh, yeah. My
and
dad.
and you ain't doing nothing. I mean, it's so bad he has to send topless pictures to Scott. 'Cause he's
I think
I was cheated. I was supposed to get a pair.
I think the deal was we were asking for a little bit more money to go to Charlotte because we didn't have enough, but we were going to go for the national title. And my mom was texting him, and my dad goes, "Text him and tell him you'll send a boob pic for some money." Well, he said okay,
I know. I want my money back.
and you didn't give no money. We didn't even get the money, man. But oh, we did. Okay, but my dad sent a boob pic and said you'll get both of them in a picture when we get the money.
And it was just his?
It was my dad's.
You lost the show.
Man, this show just went all over the place, didn't it?
It's better than it usually is, probably. Let's ask the fans if they like it better today or what last week was.
The views will tell the truth.
Hey, so here's a good one for you. So when we leave here, me and the entourage, well, like Floyd Mayweather has his entourage. That's why I got him being big bite. So we go to tacos down at Mill Creek Tavern, proud sponsor of Jacob Derrick of the Legend Car. So we're down there a few weeks ago, and our waitress comes up and we were talking racing with someone, and a girl goes, "Man, I know you from somewhere. I just can't put my finger on it." And then I go, "This is where legends are born." And she goes, "From the commercial. I've seen you in the commercial."
on TV.
That's hilarious. That's a pretty cool video, though.
Hey, you.
Hey, you. Oh, that's how I got Vaughn's attention. I was like, "Hey, you. Are we still doing driver introductions?" He's like, "Yes, we are." Okay.
The sad part about that is that came on during the race this weekend. And I was sitting there watching the cup race, right? And just the commercial comes on. And there comes him first, right? And my wife looks at me and goes, "Who the hell is that?" I called him Gage Martinez.
What she followed up with is, can you get me his autograph?
No, she only went to the. I ain't gonna say it.
I like that mustache.
That is a heck of a mustache.
Just think, you might be able to grow you one in a few days.
I hope I can.
But you never can
You
tell.
take some of that hair flowing out the back and tape it to your face.
I could. My nice, beautiful hair.
It'll get long enough to do it eventually.
Does-
When you get that mullet, you just pull it around.
Did your
Dang it, I missed.
did your girlfriend like that? You like you?
I don't have a girlfriend.
Well, you had one.
I had one 2 years ago.
You went to Ryley and spent time down there.
That ain't my girlfriend. No.
Okay,
Jesse, you got a girlfriend?
Yeah. Amy.
Hibby?
Oh,
I mean, I've said here, I got a lot of things floating through my mind. We done got on Ryley about him and his little entourage, and he said him and his entourage.
I think his
Well, I
entourage
got-
is better.
Hey, nobody messes with us when
Yeah.
bikes around. I'll tell you.
I can understand why.
Yeah.
I made the mention of Floyd Mayweather because his entourage is like, don't mess with us. So sometimes we go out of town. It's like, hey, no one's messing with us. Big Mike just posts up on the car like, yeah, what's up?
Yeah.
No
And
fighting.
then Hibby does the same thing. He just sends mean tweets.
Like he is.
And corrections.
I'm sure you correct a lot of them. So anyway, what's the plan for next year? You ready? You thinking about driving the Grand Stock again next year?
More
Or
than likely. I
we'll
mean,
get you a late model next year?
no, not at all. No,
Bando.
I've still had my dad's late model sitting up there. We talked about going Charger racing. I mean, the guy who won the Charger championship at Kinley last year, or maybe the year before, exact same thing. It was a 1998 perimeter chassis car. So we joked about it, but it basically came down to, it's like, well, Jesse, you need a pit crew if you're going to be setting this thing up. And I mean, I'd have Hibby come down most of the time. Big Mike started coming around. So and then not only that, but he goes, you really want to drive everywhere but Langley Speedway, right? Because the mini stops don't run here, so I'd be running anywhere in Virginia, North Carolina. And that kind of made me start thinking, I'm like, yeah, that's true. And that was kind of the catalyst that got me into coming back to run a Grand Stock is. I found out Rick was looking for someone to run the car. I totally wanted to get into it. We got that all set up, and we're running. We're having fun. Obviously, I'm competitive. I'm qualifying second, third, pretty much most of the races. Running against Nick and Chris and Tim real hard. So hopefully, it's just get my feet wet this year, get everything set up, ready to go, and maybe we can get a good run going into next
When
season.
everything gets going, he's gonna park that car a bunch of times.
Just need to get the seat time.
All right. I don't see him on. Is he on there?
He ain't got his camera on.
Brandon.
Mm-hmm.
Turn your camera on, Brandon, so we can see you. There he is. All right, man. Let's talk to a race car driver.
Oh God, you got the wrong guy.
How you doing, Brandon?
Oh, busier than ever. How are you guys?
I'm doing good. Now I saw you out on the lake or something this weekend, or for Sunday or Monday or whatever it was. So you didn't look like you were too busy.
Yeah, well, luckily on that day, when the hauler's on its way back and I don't have access to anything, I can use that as an excuse to skedaddle out to the lake for a day.
Man, I'm gonna tell you something. I enjoyed you being here at Langley for the Hampton Heat. You were great in that booth. I mean, you were on top of everything. You were really good at it.
Oh, I appreciate that. Yeah, that was my first time getting to really announce a race and a pretty big one at that. So that was really awesome. So thank you to everybody at Track Pass that had me out there. It was fun to get out there and meet the fans and everybody with Larry's Lemonade. I had a great time. So that was a lot of fun up there, though.
Yeah, we enjoyed it. I mean, I was sitting there listening to you. It was really good to have you here and do that for the racetrack and Track Pass. It's really cool. Now, I'm gonna tell you something. I want to know where you get your ideas from for your commercials and all the stuff you do, because I've been putting them on my Facebook page, on my race page. I've been putting them on there because you have got some good ones.
Oh, well, I appreciate that. Yeah, I I can't take all the credit for a lot of the ideas just because most of the time it's kind of a collaborative effort with myself and Mac McLeod, who does a lot of my, I guess, social media, videography, PR kind of. He jumped in this season. He's actually the main PR guy for Michael McDowell in the Cup Series. But we were roommates last year and this year, and so he's kind of jumped in and taken over that side of things for me. So he brings a lot of my ideas to life. Most of the time, I just kind of say something super far out, and he kind of brings it back in. So it makes it something that we can put online.
I mean, it attracts a lot of attention. I'm gonna tell you what, a lot of people pay attention to that.
Yeah, no, that's what we needed to do because just at this level of racing in the Xfinity series, you got to have something that differentiates you from the other guy. And unfortunately, I'm not in the bankroll category as some of those guys, so I got to do something pretty wild and out to attract sponsorship, other than having access to other business to business plays that some of these guys can do.
Now, this year, you seem to, I mean, you're running really good this year. You got a lot of good finishes. You had a little trouble this past weekend. I don't know exactly what happened there. Looked like you got pushed up in the wall. But anyway, I'm not going to say anything about that. But it was just like, I mean, you've got a whole new program just about going there where you really are really competitive.
Yeah, a lot of that comes from Doug Randolph, who's my crew chief. He brings a lot of knowledge to the team. So every year and every race, we're able to kind of step up just a little bit, which has been great. It's been nice to have some familiarity with all the tracks and kind of have an idea of what I'm going to do before I show up. As you know, there's not really any practice. So a lot of the stuff I can kind of attribute to the days of running go-karts and late models and, you know, the days of when you needed an adjustment made, it wasn't done by a computer. It was kind of by the seat of your pants. So that's played to our advantage a little bit. And then, yeah, so this year it's been great. A lot of the, like this past weekend was just a bummer because when the 2-car got into us and we hit the wall, it broke the track bar mount. So the rear end housing was like, whoa, you know, it was all over the place. And yeah, you just couldn't hold it straight. And then having people slide into you, it just ended the day. So it's 2 weeks in a row where we're out early. And we definitely need to change that luck. I got to do something, go find a rabbit's foot, or I don't know. Just because to make the playoffs now, it's almost like win to get in.
Yeah, pretty much what a lot of people are saying. You got to win to get in. Now, tell us a little bit about getting ready for Daytona. Now, I mean, you know, this is a track where anything can happen at Daytona. It's kind of like the question mark track that you're going to have at the end of the year. How do you prepare for something like that? I mean, you don't practice, so how does that affect you?
I mean, I prepare the same way that, you know, most people prepare to go to the poker table. I mean, there's not a whole lot you can do other than say, I'm going to stay calm, put on my best face, and just, you know, pray for the best. It's really and truly, it's a crapshoot just because you have such a mixture of talent in the field, of new kids to veterans, and, you know, people like me who get put in these pressure situations where it's win to get in. So you're going to see a lot of really hard, close racing. I think the Xfinity series has put out some of the best racing in the top 3 series. So it's one of those things where these guys aren't afraid to get aggressive, and I'm not either. So you're going to see a lot of pushing and shoving this weekend at Daytona. So it's one of those things where you're going to have to expect the big one to come. And I'd be extremely surprised if it didn't.
Now, with everything that's going on, no qualifying and the COVID and everything that's taking place, how has that affected a team like yours? I mean, you know, you're not the high dollar team like these other, like the Gibbs and all those. How does this affect you guys? I mean, is it a good thing that you don't have practice, or, you know, I mean, does it help you out that way or whatever?
It's like a double-edged sword, you know. It's helpful and hurtful. It's helpful in the fact that, you know, you run what you brung kind of deal, where you don't have, you know, where the bigger teams typically come to the track, you know, 4 cars, 3 sets of shock options each, and then they all figure out which one was the best and then apply it to all. So it's good in that sense to where it limits them from doing that. But it's bad because there's going to be races like we had this year at Miami where, you know, a bad O-ring could, you know, in practice, you look down at the gauge, see bad, you know, pressure and shut the motor off, get back inside in the infield and change out what you need to change out. You know, and this year we went out and it was kind of like, well, run it as long as you can until it blows because you got to maximize the points. So it's good and bad. It's good that it limits the big guys on what they can do. It's bad because, you know, if you fire off and something's wrong, then you're going to find out in the race, and that's the worst time to find out.
Now you got a good situation there. Who all do you have any alliances that you work with as far as, you know, getting information from?
No, no, we have we are on our own. The alliance is a little bit out of the budget for this year just because COVID was a big factor in sponsorship. It made it very hard to convince people to come on board because you know, 3/4 of it is the fun of, you know, being at the track, being around the driver, around the team, with your brand on the car, meeting other people in the garage area that you can, you know, do business with, and that got taken away. So it deterred a lot of sponsorship coming in unless it was something that was sold online, and it makes it tough. So it kind of put a pinch on our budget, so we weren't able to do any alliances. I don't really have any teammates, and sometimes the Chevy drivers will work with us, but most of the time not really. The junior guys stay with junior. The RCR camp and colleague kind of stick together. So it's more on me to try and latch on to somebody, find a buddy out there and push. So it makes it tough when you go to somewhere like Daytona or Talladega where it's a super speedway and you need a drafting buddy. Now it's, you know, it doesn't matter what the manufacturer is. I got to go find buddies I'm like, hey, you know, who do you want in the playoffs, me or, you know, the junior car, the Stewart Haas or Gibbs? You know, who do you want to knock out? We can do that. Just help me win. You want to come over for a steak or pizza? Like, you know, can I get you a Larry's? What can I do? So it's more or less trying to find buddies, I guess, that way.
So how are you looking for next year? Everything is good to go for next year, or is it another one of those situations you need to see how things play out or whatever?
Jack, man, I thought you knew this sport. Nothing's set for any year. Come on, man, it doesn't matter. No, I don't have anything signed contract wise that says I'm going to be good for a whole season or going to Cup or trucks or any Xfinity, anything like that. I'm working on that though, trying to get partners lined up for next season. Luckily, Vic and everybody at Larry's Lemonade's been super great partners. They've told us that they're behind us 110%. So I can expect to bring them back. Just working on, you know, trying to find the big multi-million-dollar deal that'll put us in race-winning equipment week in and week out, help us up our staffing, up the chassis. You know, running an older chassis, it's you know, it's good because we're out there and we're making progress. But you know, to get out there and win, you know, these guys have the best of the best, and you know, it's hard to beat them if you don't have the best stuff. So.
But going to a place like Daytona, now that kind of equalizes the field a little bit, doesn't it, for you guys? Because I mean, you can pop up there and win Daytona. I mean, you know.
Yeah. No, I mean that would be great because there's some drivers that, you know, you pass on track, be like, hey, remember when you ran this car like 4 years ago? Bet you don't. but no, yeah, Daytona, the super speedways are all equalizers. Short tracks, bring it back to kind of like my field house. So Bristol Motor Speedway is a really good one for us. The equalizer tracks, that's what's super helpful to us, and it gives us what we feel is our best shot at getting to victory lane. So it's all about, taking advantage of that, taking advantage of the situation that I'm in, and making the most of it, because that's how people remember you. They won't remember the valiant effort. They'll remember the result.
Right.
How many guys you got on your team, or how many employees do you have?
12 total.
12 total. Okay.
Yeah, so it's a great operation. I mean, everybody understands that we have to wear multiple hats when it comes to things. Sometimes I get to play race car driver, and like you saw yesterday, I got to go out on the lake. It was awesome. I was like, man, this is what these guys do. Oh, I got to go find a sponsor. But a lot of the times, it's being, at the shop a little later and knocking out things like we just did today, where we were here doing some photo shoots and putting together some more content to put out on social media, as well as, setting up the interior of the car, making sure everything's just right and how I want it. Because if there's something wrong and you find out at 200 miles an hour, it's not the most settling feeling. It'll make your stomach turn a little bit, butt pucker. But
how many views did you get? How many views did you get on that car salesman quarter panel, whatever video? That thing was hilarious.
A ton. I mean, we had over 2.5 million impressions on it. So
wow,
it was viral. And if I had known, I could have made that video a little longer. If I had ran Indy before, I would have saw that I could have sold the undercarriage of the car too. So curves out on track. But no, it was an awesome video. The cheesiest, dumbest thing that we could have ever come up with, and for whatever reason, that's what takes off. So hey, if it works, it works.
Did you get any sponsorship out of it?
Yeah, we got a lot of interest out of it. We got a few primaries, a lot of associates, people that just jumped on board because they were like, this is hilarious, we want videos too. So it kind of opened up a new avenue for me, and being able to work with sponsors in that way. So it was really cool. But it's one of those things where a lot of them now are like, yeah, we want a video like that. I'm like, man, I don't know how to follow up that performance. I'm going to be honest with you, but we try our best.
So I'm unfamiliar with this video. How do I search it and find it?
Well, today, when you get on Twitter, if you go and find my page at @BrandonBrown_68, I still have it pinned to the top. You'll be able to click on it and watch it. It's a good one.
Okay.
Yeah, it's definitely pretty fun.
Appreciate it.
Well, Brandon, we appreciate you spending time. I know you got a lot going on there, and I appreciate you taking time out to talk with us. It means a lot to us. And hopefully we'll see you back down here soon.
Yeah, absolutely. Hopefully we can talk after a win or something. I don't know.
Okay. All right, man. Appreciate it. Thanks a lot.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you, bud.
So I might need to exit stage right.
Okay.
Or
Taco
stage.
time.
Yeah.
Well, taco time.
Yeah. We gotta get some tacos. But
All right.
appreciate having me,
No
guys.
problem, man.
Appreciate it, man. Thanks a lot.
I'll always,
Bro.
always keep your stickers on all the cars I got.
You running this weekend?
Yeah.
I see you, sir.
Good luck.
All right. Now we're going to bring in here. All right, man. We're going to bring the crew chief from Ware Racing in here. One of the crew chiefs from Ware Racing. I can't say the crew chief, but one of the crew chiefs
No,
from Ware Racing.
he's our crew chief.
He's our crew chief. Yeah, he hooks up with us. I mean, we're good. We're the
But
one.
not like
that.
that.
Shut up. That ain't doing that. But he's with we pull for him.
You got to watch what comes out of his mouth sometimes, Jason.
Yeah, I know it. How you guys doing today?
Hey, what's
Good,
going
man.
on with you, man?
Busy. Just like Brandon says, there's always something to do, right?
Yeah. So look, there's a lot going on now. You got the new cars coming in and everything. How are y'all dividing the time up to get new cars ready? And I mean, 4 cars for a race or whatever.
Well, Rick has definitely put together some very talented people, but we all have to wear multiple hats. At this point, I have stayed out of the new car deal. as much as possible, just so that I could focus on the rest of this year and getting things the way we needed to be with the old car. I don't want to lose track of. I guess you don't want to take your eye off the prize, right? Obviously, we're all looking forward to next year and the next gen car and seeing where NASCAR is going to go with it. But we still have a job to do at this point, and I've tried to stay as focused as I can on the number 52 Ford Mustang and not get carried away with a lot of the next gen stuff at this point.
Rick's got a lot of irons in the fire.
Yeah.
Oh, he's got these, the Indy cars. He's got all this other stuff he's doing. How hard is all that for you guys to be, you got to work around all that?
Luckily, in my little part of Rick Ware Racing, I don't have to, I guess I don't get to see much of the IndyCar stuff. His IndyCar team is actually based up in just outside of Chicago, Illinois.
Oh, okay.
So he actually partnered up and he's getting a lot of mentoring and stuff from Dale Coyne, who's been a long time IndyCar racer.
Right.
So that Rick has done very good. I'm sure he has one hell of a juggling act going on in his head, because he's got, Cody's doing the sports car stuff and Carson's doing some racing, and we've got the IndyCar. We've got these 4 cars running every week, and he has done very good at not getting us all caught up in it, letting us stay focused on our own little part of Rick Ware. And that's I would have to say that's something new for Rick, because as you guys know, you've watched me over the years, we've had our hands in everything that Rick has his name on.
Yeah.
But he has done very good at giving us the tools that we need to do our job. I don't think that one section of Rick Ware Racing, be it the prototype car, the Indy car, or the Cup car, I wouldn't want to say that any of it's been taken away. Rick hasn't limited our ability to do what we need to do to go racing and be as successful as we can, if that makes sense.
Is the sports car stuff in the same building as you guys?
Yeah, the sports car stuff is actually in the original Thomasville building. I think you guys were actually there once or twice.
I've been there, yeah.
Yeah, that all the sports car stuff is actually there. And all the Cup stuff is in the Mooresville area. And the Indy car is up outside of Chicago.
Now, with the Cup cars, do you all have all of them under the same roof, or do you have different buildings for those too? Because I heard at one time before y'all were in different buildings.
We are in different buildings. We have one shop that houses 2 cars. We have the shop that I'm in that houses just the 52 car, and then we have the other shop that houses the 15 car and all the fab shop, body plates, roller arms, all that kind of stuff.
So, and that's in Mooresville. Where at in Mooresville are you guys located? Because evidently you moved from where I was thinking you were.
Yeah, well, we were in the old Germain building for a while.
Yeah.
We moved out of that, and I'm still in Lakeside Park. I'm next door neighbors with Roush Yates Engines now.
Oh, okay, yeah, okay.
Yep. And one of the other cars is actually out in the old JGL building, Bones, and they work out of there. And the other one is just outside by the drag strip out there at where Richardson's had R3 racing going out of for a while.
Now that's hard. Is that hard for you guys? I mean, you all work together, and I'm sure you have to have certain times that you all look at things together to see how things are working. And being in 3 different areas, is that a problem? I mean, does that create a big problem?
No, it doesn't create a big problem. I think what it does do is before every Tuesday morning, the crew chief, all of us crew chiefs got together with either Rick or Kenny or, Tommy Baldwin did a lot for us last year, and we would all kind of get pointed in the same direction where we were going And now it's a lot of text messages and phone calls, and a lot of time when we get the cars through tech, now that we're under the COVID deal, when we get the cars through tech, we all kind of, lay out a plan and get with one another and figure out what we're gonna do for the next week.
What's it like now for you guys with the COVID? I mean, I know they're starting to do more restrictions again. They're coming back with some more restrictions. How does that work when you get to the racetrack? Are you all able to do a lot around it, with each other, or do you have to keep distance or whatever?
No, we have to keep our distance, right? We still have to do the distance thing, but we can sit out behind the trailer because unfortunately there's not a ton of fans at these things right now because of the COVID thing. So we can all sit outside behind the trailer, us crew chiefs, and we can get together and go on for next week. It has made me a lot better, I think, of a note taker as far as things like that, because we share a lot of the information pre-race, we share a lot of information post-race, and we do a lot of it is through an email chain or just some Google Sheets and things like that we've got a couple of engineers that have put together. So it's made me a lot. You guys, I don't always use my pen and paper anymore. I do actually have a computer now.
Oh, we're moving to the 21st century.
Yeah, we're getting there. But it's definitely been very good for me.
It's got to be kind of odd to sit in the garage or in the back of the hauler and not have a ton of fans roaming around. I mean, obviously we've never got to experience that, to be there and see this is just, it's got to be weird.
Yeah, there's definitely something missing. There's definitely an important piece missing for sure, without meeting new people and the fans there that really show our support, because at the end of the day, without those fans, we don't get a paycheck. So it's that's really rough. And I will tell you, I'm glad that they've put fans back in the stands. You would be amazed at the difference in the sound of a race car when there's no fans in the stands compared to when there is.
Oh yeah.
There was a lot of times that you would think something was going wrong because of the sound, and you're not used to hearing it that way. So it was really different. And at the end of the day, right, we are entertainers in our business, and really what the highlight of all of us, our career, is not only the challenge and the passion about what we're doing, but it's showcasing our talent, right? Or it's showcasing what we have, or for the people that are there. And a small team like us, somebody comes and they don't know us, but they get to meet us, and it changes their perspective of NASCAR a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I agree. I totally agree.
Yeah, because it's much easier to talk to a bunch of you guys, real people, it seems like, in the back part of the field than it is to go to try to talk to somebody in the front part of the field. For the average fan that gets the opportunity to be in the pits. Right.
And that's the case. And nothing against those guys up in the front of the field. We'd all like to be there, right? But at the other time, they have a job they have to focus on. And if they stopped and met with one group of people, they got to stop and meet with every group of people. So it definitely is a new perspective. It puts a whole different perspective on when people watch me work in the garage compared to watching Matt McCall work in the garage or one of those guys at the other end. It's a little bit different.
Sure.
You got a lot more going on than he does.
Yeah.
He can delegate more than you can.
Yeah, well, he's got a lot more people to delegate it to, right?
Now, look, I'm gonna ask you the big question that one of the things I thought about when I asked you to come on the show this week. I've been hearing all these rumors floating around, and I know you can't speak on them, and I know that. But are there big changes coming to Rick Ware Racing for next year? I mean, I know you can't speak in specifics or whatever. I mean,
we get asked that question a lot. Rick did that serious deal, and he wants to step up and he wants to make changes. But what I would really ask a couple of guys like you that have followed me since, I first started working with Rick Ware 5 or 6 years ago, right?
Right.
you got to remember when we were going to the racetrack at the beginning, we only had one car and we had to race it 3 weeks in a row. And we only had a couple motors and we had to race them a lot farther than we are now. I don't think that people can expect Rick Ware racing to change overnight, but I will sit here and tell you that I do expect to keep going in the right direction. I think things may elevate at a little different level next year than they have so far over the past. But if you think about where Rick's Cup program has come over the past 4 years that we've been running the Cup car, just think about where we were then and where we are now.
Right.
We have a lot more stuff. We have a lot more stuff, a lot more resources, a lot more things going on now than we ever had.
I mean, you got a lot going on, and I know that. I mean, I know that as far as the team is completely different. I mean, you're a more competitive team than you were to start with. You got all the resources, but you just hear all these things going on, and next year, I'm just thinking next year a lot of people are going to change up next year. A lot of things are going to change.
Yeah, I truly believe that. I truly believe that the world of NASCAR is going to change with this new car. I think that your level, I don't want to say heroism, but it kind of, your level of role model, I think is definitely going to change. I definitely think if you truly put the Garrett Smithleys and the Josh Belickis and the Cody Wares in cars that are even 40% more capable of winning a race than what we have now, I really think that guys like that are going to turn heads. I think guys like Ryan Preece, who are just missing a little bit, they might actually break through, right?
Yeah.
I think that the level of respect for the drivers, the Corey LaJoys, the Cody Wares, the Josh Belickis, the BJ McLeods, I definitely think that their level of respect is going to change when they truly get a chance to showcase their talent in a car that's a little bit that closes the gap up more than what we have now.
Well, I mean, it's got to be. I'm just thinking, if I was in your shoes, I would be super excited about the new car, because then you can say, I'm going to have just as good as equipment as the guy next to me. You're going to be on equal ground. It's going to feel like. I mean, their guys are going to, obviously their budgets are going to be a little different, so that adds some to it, but you're still going to be way closer than we have been, per se.
Yeah, oh, for sure. And now it's going to be having the same equipment that a guy like Matt McCall has to operate with, or a guy like Rudy Fugle to operate with. Not only does my driver get to showcase his talent, but now I get to showcase mine, right? Or my crew gets to showcase their talent, that we are just as capable of putting together a winning race car, or a car that can run in the top 10, as those guys at Hendricks and Gibbs and all those places like that, right? I think it's going to put a lot better sense of pride into the younger people that work in our sport, that maybe, they get caught at what we call the back half of the garage, and they think there's nothing better than that, right? Or they think that that's all they'll ever be. This is going to give them a shot to really wear something proud on their shoulders. And for me, this might give me a shot to go back and be a top 10 crew chief, right? I won a lot of races out west in my modifieds and my late models and things like that. But this is going to give me a chance to showcase that with the right driver and the right situation, that I can still do this.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I don't think there's any doubt you can do it. I mean, we've seen you go all the way from writing things on a piece of paper to now doing a computer. You got to be. I mean, you're already showing great promise.
Yeah, it's truly hard to believe that I've been blessed enough to. I'm working at almost 70 starts as a Cup crew chief. I'm pretty close. I think I'm at like 66 or 67. And I know that I have like 70 or 80 starts as an Xfinity crew chief. So, I truly am blessed to be in the situation I have, but you blink an eye and time has gone by, right? It seemed like just yesterday I was writing that stuff on a piece of paper and using, scratch pad to figure out my fuel mileage.
Right.
Now I got a computer program. The guy gives me the weights. I put it in, and I actually have an engineer that sits next to me that tells me when I'm going to run out of fuel and tells me how much we had to put in. So I feel that I have a lot more depth now than I ever had when you guys used to come sit on my little pit road box with me. I definitely feel that I'm fortunate to be surrounded by great people. You know, I got to be a team crew chief with Todd Parrott. How many people get to say that, right? Or, you know, that are my age, that are new in the sport. A lot of guys, you know, I get to talk to Waddell Wilson whenever I would like. You know, I can dial him up and talk to him. And I have great guys like, you know, Pat Tryson was with us at the beginning of the year. And the people that I've got to work around and now I get to call my friends is amazing. You never realize until you sit back and look at it, right?
Yeah.
Right.
100%.
All right, Jason. Well, we appreciate you spending some time with us tonight. I know you got a busy schedule going on, getting ready to go to Daytona. I know everything's looking good down there for you. So maybe we can get down to see you sometime.
All right. Well, I'm looking forward to seeing you guys here in a couple weeks in Richmond, maybe.
Well, I hope so. We're trying our best to get there. We'll see how it works out.
All right. Well, for sure. Thank you guys for being big supporters of racing, Jason. And we'll give you all we can down in Daytona. We had a great, you know, this year I get one driver in the seat. I've had Josh Balicki in it all year. One top 20 and a couple top 25 so far. So we're going to try to better that this weekend down in Daytona.
And Daytona can be a place where you can do that too.
For sure.
All right, man. We appreciate it. We'll talk to you again soon. All right.
Thank you.
Thanks,
you.
buddy.
Bye.
Man, I mean, it is funny to think back when we were sitting on the pit box with him at Richmond.
Not Martinsville. Charlotte.
Charlotte. Was it Charlotte? Or
yeah, it was
Richmond?
Charlotte. We did it in Charlotte.
And then we're looking around and like, there's him, you, and me, and like one or two sponsors on the box. I mean, and they had, you know, I hate to say this, like kind of a makeshift pit crew. His wife works with the team and does a bunch of the stuff. I don't even know if she's an employee or she just volunteers. I forget what she does during the week. And no computer. Didn't even have electricity up on the box. And he had a piece of paper and a calculator. And we were sitting there. And I remember taking a picture and like, this is, you know. And he was just as happy as he could be and thrilled to death to be there to do it, you know. And that's probably like one of the things about Jay, that he is, you know, everybody wants to be that top guy. Everybody wants to be a Chad Canals or you know, all these big name guys and run up front. But he's happy to be part of the show and to work his way up there. And he's not scared of work.
No, he's not scared of work. I mean, he has to do what he has to do there to get through it. All right, that's our show for tonight, man. Want to thank, we had a comedian in Ryley Music here tonight.
Man, he was on the chip.
The last two times he's been up here. Jesse Jones, appreciate Jesse coming out.
Jesse had a hell of a run going this weekend.
And, you know, I would say it was nice he brought Hibby and
But you're not going to go that far?
I'm not going to go that far. But anyway, nice to have Brandon Brown and Racing Jason with us tonight. Next week, Shane Laws is going to be here. We're going to talk about Martinsville.
Month out.
Yeah, we're getting close, and he's going to talk to us about. I mean, he's already put out one directive already, so we'll get him on here next week. Also, going to have an ARCA driver on here next week. DL Wilson runs in the ARCA, the big ARCA series.
Okay.
And he's going to be with us and going to tell us about how he's making do in the sport, trying to get started in this sport. And I know, and talk to him, he's an older, well, not old, he's not old, but he's also a police officer.
Oh, okay.
So it's really cool.
So not only can he turn you, he'll arrest you if you try to fight with him.
So it'd be cool to have him on here. And I've got a special guest lined up for next week that's going to connect with us next week. I have not, I just before you got here tonight, I was on the phone with them, did everything up, and I should know something by the time I put it out about the show. So I'm not going to announce it because if it doesn't happen, I'll look stupid.
Jack, you ain't got to worry about that.
And,
You already look stupid. So.
see, I didn't have to go that far with you. But anyway, that's the plan. Y'all will be surprised at who this surprise guest is going to be next week.
I don't even know.
No, and you won't know until I put it out. that it's
I'll bug him as soon as we get off the air.
But anyway, that'll be our show next week. So thank you for tuning in tonight. Everybody pray for the music family because Ryley's going late model racing, and I'm not sure he can shut his mouth between now and
We'll
then.
see if he's still got a radiator in there after the weekend.
But anyway, all right, we'll
Thanks,
see you next
guys.
week.